So as you can see here, I kind of pushed all of my furniture out of the way so that I can use my living room as my workstation because my garage isn't built, as I mentioned in my first video. Sorry for the lighting because it's very sunny, and so this is what it looks like in my living room during the early morning. So here we have our Billy bookcases. Um, I also got my extenders and I already put them together. And I received also the back order for the doors, just 4 doors in total. And I kept them in a box because I don't want any mishap to happen with the glass since I am working in my living room. Also, I wanted to mention that originally I bought this beautiful, as you can see, it's a little bit textured. We'll see how well you can see that if I turn the camera. There we go. Wallpaper that I absolutely love. I bought 3 rolls and I was really spot on with the color that I want to paint my Billy bookcases with. So originally I wanted to vinyl them, cover them with vinyl. I thought, listen, if they can do it, I can do it too. But then I said, I'm not that patient. And so I know myself and I can get really frustrated. So instead of not using them, I decided, well, what if I use them for the shelving? So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm not 100% sure because I want to paint the bookcases first and see how close of a match it is. I'm going to go ahead and vinyl the shelves instead of painting them. And it will be a little easier and make the job go a little faster. So with that, let's get started. So I started sanding with a 120 grit to get a good scuff on them before applying the primer. Then I gave it a good wipe down to remove any dust before I start painting. This Zinsser primer is very thick, as you can see. This Expert Elite Pro paintbrush was recommended to apply the Zinsser primer. I repeated the process with my cabinet doors. This time I decided to use a vacuum to remove all the dust instead of the cloth. So I applied the painter's tape to the glass on my cabinet doors to protect it before priming. So I painted a little swatch and the vinyl matches the color perfectly. So while the unit is drying from the primer, I decided to go ahead and apply the vinyl to the shelves. Applying the vinyl was actually easier than I thought, but I am glad that I just decided to vinyl the shelves instead of the whole unit because that would have been a lot tougher. I think it came out pretty good if I say so myself. So now we are ready to paint after a long wait for the primer to dry. And so I'm going to roll on the paint. And before I do so, I'm going to apply some tape to the roller and just take it off to remove any of the lint that may be on the roller and just start to apply the paint. I absolutely love the colors coming out so good. And now to tackle the bookcases. I'm so excited to see what it's gonna look like at the end. I applied the polyurethane after the paint dried. So here we are. I'm finally ready to get this cabinet into the kitchen, finish assembling it and styling it. I'm so excited. And I say finally because this bad boy took so long to dry. Let me tell you. I thought I was doing something wrong, but I know that I did all of my homework. I looked at other people, what they were doing with painting their Billy bookcases on YouTube. I mean, I followed it to a T because you are painting over laminated pieces, and that's not always the easiest because you want that paint to adhere. Anyways, this project I started the second week of April. Here we are, the last week of May. That's how long it took this piece to dry. And it was the humidity. I live in Puerto Rico, it's humid as it is, but those months were raining so hard, like every other day. So the humidity was just like off the charts. So every time I would check, it was tacky. I would get so upset. I'm like, when is this thing gonna dry? I did read that if you put it in the sun, the couple of days that we did have some sun, it could help evaporate the water in the paint. And so I did that, and it did help. Finally, once I got it dry, then I'm thinking, how long is it gonna take this poly to dry, right? And believe it or not, it just dried exactly as the can said. You know, and I've used poly all the time, but this bad boy dried almost instantly, which thank God, right? So here we are, and we are ready to assemble. A couple of things. I did end up using the cardboard backing that the cabinets came with. I'm not a fan of this backing in any type of furniture. I really wish it would just be like the thin plywood, which is what I wanted to use to make the cabinets a bit stronger. But you know, Home Depot, literally to go and come back, it's about 104 miles. It's not around the corner, not like in the States where I say, oh, I need something, let me run down. No, here you better make a list and check it twice before you go to Home Depot, because it's quite a trip. But when I went, they did not have the thin plywood that I wanted. So to not delay it and just really wanting to finish the product. And part was to make it strong, but also I didn't know how well this cardboard backing would paint. The paint would be, if it would last on it, because the cardboards, if you bought IKEA anything, you would know that their backing is very glossy. So it's a laminate, but it's very, very glossy, where the cabinet's laminate is matte. So I'm like, ugh, I can see the paint just peeling off of it. So I decided to paint it. I polyurethane, and look, it looks absolutely wonderful. I am impressed. What we're gonna do is actually, they have these they have these screws here that I ordered from Amazon. They're for the Billy cabinet, that allows you to put them through these holes, right? And well, you gotta make a hole to go to the other side, but they actually connect them together. So stay tuned for my next video, where my husband and I, will be assembling this in the kitchen and styling it. So look out for that. All right, now take care, God bless, and see you in that video. Bye-bye.